Hey, folks, welcome back to the Pulse. It is 2 o'clock Central Texas time, and I am so glad that you're here. This is your Pulsechain launch warning. Folks, this is going to be a good stream today. I'm fired up. I have a little bit of coffee in the afternoon, and you know what that means, folks. Going to fire it up. We got 46 people here. This is like the bull run. Folks, it is back. Crypto's back. Boy, everything is failing around us. But I want to share something with you that'll make you smile. And we're going to start with this one today because this is just absolutely fun. One of my new favorite people in the entire crypto space. Check this out, my friends.
There's another blockchain fork on the way. If I told you it was bad, would you say I'm a man without conviction? I'm a man who doesn't know. Never sell in these conditions. You buy the lows. You buy the lows. Come on, Ethereum. You gotta go. Pulsechain is coming to lower your high gas fees. Then candles green. Didn't you hear Richard's words every day? I can't wait to see that tweet when he will say that life will have corrections when we dip just by the laws. Never sell, we'll go forever. We're streaming on. Come on, Ethereum. You gotta go. Pulsechain is coming to lower your high gas fees. Then candles green. Every day is like survival. You're my blockchain, not my rival. Every day is like survival. You're my blockchain, not my rival.
Wow. Westcott Crypto with the man, that is amazing. You know what I'd love to see? I'll bet you love to see this too. I love to see a dad with his boys. And I'm going to tell you what, that is so fun, folks. We're getting so close to the Pulsechain launch. If you're not familiar with what the Pulsechain is, this is a new Ethereum fork by Richard Hart. And what it promises to be is to be the layer one of a vertically aligned ecosystem. Folks, people are coming after you to track you. It is so clear. The Fed now ledger, it's coming sooner than you think. And folks, they're going to be tracking and tracing everything. If you look over into Europe and what they're doing, they're saying, hey, you can't spend more than $1,000 in cash. And if you do, you're in the gray market. Folks, it is getting to be so right for Pulsechain launch. Why? It's not just because we can do business there. It's because it's going to be a safe place for us to transact, right? That's free and sovereign, and it does not have censorship. It's what crypto was made for, my friends. Well, let's get into the chat, say hello to you, and then we're going to talk about why is this the Pulsechain launch warning? It was pretty incredible what happened over the weekend from Richard Hart. You've probably seen some of this, maybe you haven't, but I want to stop for a second and say, please go give Westcott Crypto a like and a subscribe and a follow on Twitter. Westcott Crypto is the man. Thanks for all that you do. I got to meet him in Austin at Consensus, got to be on stream. He was on the Texan Tailgate last night or yesterday. So just fantastic. Folks, welcome back. My name is Matt. This is Crypto Heartbeat, and Taryn is number one today. What's going on? Jackie Clocky's here. Hex Moonwhale. Oh, Moonwhale. What's going on? Sam Kemp is back again. DJ and Dougie Peach, my online ghost, and Cadium. What's up, Cadium? Hello from Georgia. What's going on? When popcorn popping? I can smell it popping. If you saw Brandon's, he posted on Twitter. It was obviously a meme, but it was the smoke detector was missing. You know what? You know, in the middle of the night when that beep, beep, beep goes off, it always happens in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep, right? And of course, then, they knocked it off the wall, and he had microwave popcorn taped up there. Folks, it's going to get hot in here. Apple, good to see you from Let's Go from the Philippines. Welcome back. Gabriel's here from the Philippines as well. Mobius, what's going on? Kansas City, Missouri's in the house. Moonwhale, thanks for being here. Hextravagant Taste. Look at that. Thank you so much. It's unbelievable how expensive it is on the Ethereum blockchain, and that makes the whole point of the Pulsechain so much more attractive. If you have ERC20 tokens or NFTs or any contract on the Ethereum blockchain, you're going to get a copy on the Pulsechain, and that's so amazing. So in MetaMask, all you do is change your RPC settings. You just change over, and there's your tokens. Everything else, a copy. You get a copy over there after the fork. It's coming soon. Extravagant Taste can't. You say ETH gas sucks. I knew you could. That's right. It's tough. And then look at Bitcoin. What they've done with all this BRC20 stuff is locked up the Bitcoin network. There's like 450,000 transactions that haven't gone through. That's like unusable. How crazy is this, folks? It's not just all the timing of this. It's all the timing of this. Think about the timing of this. Bitcoin's basically unusable. Ethereum's basically unusable. Maybe we should launch the Pulsechain. Let's go. Paul Op the 7th, good to see you. Airtoe's here. And Samantha, welcome back. Good to see you so much. So great to see you. Anders is here. And David Lee, all the way from southwestern Indiana. You know, David Lee, I made this cup of coffee with my dad's coffee pot. So cheers to you, my friend. And to Wolfman himself. Stakes ending on Friday. Hey. Godfather J6, what's going on? Good to see you. And Rafoon, what's up, Rat Food? Good to see you. And Westcott Crypto actually got to see it. Man, I am so fortunate. Westcott Crypto, you're the man. This is so fantastic. I'm trying to talk Westcott Crypto into doing a spoof song about the Pulsechain, and we can add in all kinds of fun things, I'm sure, there. But Old Town Road, and I'm sure you know the part I'm going to play, right? Because I got some rapping skills, if you know what I'm saying. Crypto compassion to everyone. Hello, everyone. Right time, right place. That's right. Little Dop Hex. Hola, Hex fam. Fantastic. Clintrons, what's going on? RB crew in the house, Texas life. What's going on, everyone? Humberto Gonzalez, blessings, everyone from sunny Miami. Crypto Pay, Matt, love your words of wisdom as always. Thanks so much. Pulsechain trainers in the house. Folks, this is like it used to be. 91 people here. Thanks for being here. Jesse Jensen, Matt, woohoo, let's go. Checks my pulse. What's going on? What's up, all? Crypto Pay with the fire. Interesting stuff. Let's go. Pulsechain and Texan, baby. Let's go. Crypto Compassion's in the house. DJ and Dougie Peace. The Pulse Tube. This is, it's extremely close. So we're going to talk about why. You know what? There's so many people in the chat. I'm going to go right to some content here. So let's do that. Thanks, Pulse Tube, for all that you do and supporting all of us here as we help build on the Pulse chain. But let's take a look at the boss man's tweets. So let's stop that screen and let's present this one. This is from Richard Hart, and you have to be under a rock not to have seen this, but Richard Hart posted this, and this was about 20 hours ago. So we just started a stream, and KG from Internet Money was hosting all of the builders and founders on a Twitter space. And as soon as we went live, Richard posted this. I'm really looking forward to the pulsechain.com mainnet. Surely you've tested testnet v4 extensively and are totally ready for mainnet. You have your game plan ready? There's looks to be extremely not much left to be done. Extremely not much. That's better than what it's been in the past. Folks, there's a number and a series of tweets that happened after that. I encourage you to look at that. But what we're seeing is real leadership from Richard Hart. And then the biggest one to me was this. And so I'm gonna go back to the search, and I want you to see this. BitBoy, Ben Armstrong. This to me is the best leading indicator I've seen. BitBoy says, let me get back to it here. And this is something you probably haven't seen. He found his SAC wallet for the Pulse chain. And so the question is this. Let's see where we can find it. Man, he's going crazy with tweeting. And he's launched a meme coin, which is also interesting in and of itself. Man. All right. Oh, here it is. After 2 years or so, I finally found my Pulse Chain ETH sacrifice funds. Good thing it's not out yet, lol. But excited to be part of the holders and see what the hype will do. Why do you think 4 hours ago, BitBoy posted this? BitBoy's got all kinds of things going on. He's launching his own token. He's got a new TV show coming out. He's got lawsuits. He's got all kinds of stuff. Why do you think he would have posted this? In my opinion, why he posted that is pretty obvious. Because he's probably going to have a guest on his show coming soon. And where would you go if you're Richard Hart and you launched the Pulse chain and you wanted to share it with folks? That is not alpha. That's not real alpha. That's pure speculation. But it's just interesting to me. He doesn't talk about it ever. And then there's a tweet right after Richard. So he's obviously lining up things. And in my opinion, it's either going to be Ivan on Tech or it's going to be BitBoy. I think BitBoy. And he was in the Atlanta area for the Taylor Swift concert. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, folks. But he's a smart guy. You know, he's not just going to launch it and sit back. He's going to make the rounds because everybody's going to want a piece of Richard Hart. And there couldn't be a better time with Bitcoin, like literally, you know, seizing up, and then Ethereum unusable because of gas fees. I mean, the trifecta, it's unbelievable. Beautiful what's going on. Highway is back as well. That's right. Urban Productions, extremely close, but prefer dumping price. Exciting. Culture Club made it not so good. That's right. Yeah, it was a questionable song, but you know what? Westcott Crypto and the boys, it was good to see them. The Dish 22. Hello, all you good people ready for launch. Ruskino without conviction. I have conviction that release is imminent. Big times are coming. That's right. Westcott Crypto. Thanks, Harvey. Absolutely, man. I love what you're doing, and I want to do it with you. Liberty or death when launched, soon when it's ready. That's right. That's all we can do, right? Uncle Will, lol. Is that him with his kids? So sweet. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it is fantastic. It's so good to see Dad playing with the kids. DJ Bomber's here. Good tunes. Everybody loves that stuff. I'm going to roll through this. Ryan Hungate. You know who Ryan is, folks? We got 123 people here. Ryan Hungate is a master coder, and he's strong like bull, if you know what I'm saying. Speaking of my dad with boys, my youngest son sent me a video of him riding his new motorcycle he just bought living in Japan. Dad's not too happy. Yeah. Dangerous Jenkins, what's going on? Yo, we got royalty in the house. Lee is here. Daniel, good to see you. Emaciated afternoon, heartbeat and fam. Chris Side Effects from deep in the heart of Texas. Clintrons, if you're not familiar with what Pulse Chain is, then you haven't watched Heartbeat before. Thanks, Clintrons. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Westcott Crypto, if you want to check him out, go check him out. It's Westcott Crypto on Twitter. Make sure you follow him, man. He's always got something up his sleeve that's good. Archipelago, what's going on? CJ Des, bonjour to you. Have you all seen the BRC20 stuff? Yeah, BRC20. So, You know, the same guy that did ordinals, and ordinals are basically taking a Satoshi and using some basically like a layer on the Satoshi that basically enabled them to do NFTs. Well, they took the same thing and they said, hey, why can't we launch these BRC20s, which is basically, you know, this is where all these meme coins. And strangely enough, Pepe token actually was launched as a BRC20, and pretty much overnight, it's $1 billion industry. Hat tip to crypto banter on that one. Hornet UK, when Lambo. Dude, I love it. Just keep coming in. I love it. It's become its own meme now. David Lee with the love. All on is here. Empty coin or what's going on? And folks, he's here. Chuck Norris. Folks, it is so good to have Chuck Norris in the house. Welcome back, my friend. I'm doing great. Fired up for the Pulsechain launch. I can taste it. It's so close. Extravagant taste. Hit the lick button. Will and Lessick getting close, and a $9.99 from D Bell. What's going on? Or B Dell. That's it. B Dell, thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. Any question you have? Certainly no super chats requested or required, but I appreciate it so much. We're winning together, folks. We're winning the lottery in slow motion. All right, David Lee, things are getting real. Mr. Norris is in the house. You know, you want him on your side. I've said that so many times when Chuck Norris comes in. You know, Chuck Norris is, he is the quintessential Texan, if you know what I'm saying. Forever upwards, Hex on time. Good to see you, Pulse Dude. Our pleasure. Love the community. Thanks so much. Samantha with the love. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, David Lee. Working on 10K. It's close. Yeah, we're going to be at 10,000 subs here. And I have a feeling coming soon. There's 121 people here. Normally, we don't have this kind of crowd. So if you haven't subscribed to Crypto Heartbeat, this is what we do. This is the Pulse. We talk about the Pulse chain. We talk about all kinds of things. We interview people. We just do it all. We do it all here. Thanks for the community. Thank you so much for the super chat there. I really appreciate it. Crypto Chronic, Bitweasel. There you go. And Hexy Quinn. I always love seeing Hexy Quinn in here. Great to see you. It was good to hear from you on the text tailgate. So glad that you're joining that crew, and it's just great to see you. Crypto Chronic, who loses their SAC address. I think he talks poo. Man, maybe. That's so great. So much excitement. Mr. Hellbox is back. He posted it because he sucks off trends, and it's no secret that he's not a genius. He likes every other person. Crypto, which plus he changed. Yeah. You know what? I love it. I love that there's all kinds of folks here. Mr. Hellbox, you are welcome here in our community. What's going LFG? Not sure what that means, but I'm pretty happy about it. Feels close after 2 years. Also, he wanted to grab the attention of our community and pump his own meme coin. Don't trust that Ben guy one bit. Hey, everybody's got something to sell you. Hey, man, things are heating up, and we're days away at maximum, maybe hours. And that's why I want to do this. This is your Pulsechain launch warning. And so what should you do? What should you do? Do you have a plan? I'm going to tell you my plan. You don't have to follow. This is certainly not financial advice. You know what I'm going to do? Nothing. I'm going to stream with maybe like Crypto Panda and maybe Brandon from Rags to Riches. We'll pop some popcorn. We'll look at some charts or anything that we can look at, and we will just celebrate with you. And so I hope you'll join us. Remember, we did the pre-viral show. That was like well over a year ago, and we were doing that. And folks, this is our time. And so we're going to have to chop off the pre part and say, this is the viral show. But to have those guys back, you know, Crypto Panda, when he comes back, you know, things are getting serious because he's like the groundhog. Francis Powell's in the house. Good to see you. Seems like yesterday we were saying 2 more weeks. You know, what's crazy is I was at that Hex conference in Vegas. And I remember David Feeder said, oh, it's not going to happen until the summer. That was last summer. And I was like, there's no way it's going to take that long. And here we are, and we're live. Tyrannosaurus Hex, let's go. Twin Fam, DJ Cryptomatic. Good Lord, one of my favorite Hexicans. Exciting times, Funk Master Heartbeat, great to get you live. DJ Cryptomatic and I think are contemporaries. I wouldn't want to, you know, I'm much, much older than he is, but I just have a, what should I say? Affinity. I have an affinity for DJ Cryptomatic. He's a good dude. What a wonderful person and a great supporter of the Hex and Pulse community. Aaron Hungay, what's going on? You know, it's going to be a good day when you're at the gym listening to Heartbeat himself. What's going on? Don J, the boom is about to drop. Exciting times. Times and chance happen to them all. Glad to be alive and witness this milestone in history. Well, you are at a unique time in human history. This is the first time where financial power and political power has been separated. Regular people are decreeing value. And think about this. You know where that SAC money's going? It's called liquidity, my friends. Without making the market, you got nothing. That's what's so exciting about this. It's not just the copies. It's just not just the buy and burn on PulseX. It's everything wrapped up together. And then it's freedom. And then it's 150 projects. It's amazing, folks. No one's got this kind of prep. And in a way, because we've waited, it's built up to this time. And what is the unknown factors that really, really support the Pulsechain launch? Bitcoin's unusable and Ethereum's prices are too high. Like, it's absolutely the perfect moment. I appreciate Westcott because he's open and authentic about his journey. Boom. Love it. That is the truth. DJ Cryptomatic. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Mr. Chira. Hey, Heartbeat, exciting times. Absolutely. Liberty to death. I'm ready for secession. When Texas secession? We need to ASAP. So hopefully other states will follow. I think one of the challenges with Texas independence is because we've got people that are like Washington folks in Austin. And right now they're holding it up. They're not even going to give us a hearing. But two things are happening. One, the Texas Bill of Rights is being updated to include any type of currency, including crypto, to be utilized between parties as legal tender between them. That's huge. That's one. Number two, the gold depository and the gold-backed stablecoin is also going to get approved. That could be big too. So we're watching that one as well. We'll bring you more information about that. Chuck Norris. Hey, David Lee. Big shout out to you. That's fantastic. Robbie C. Tickle that like button. Appreciate you. I love you too, Mr. Hellbox. Glad you're here. Everyone is welcome in our community, folks. That's what makes it so special. What's up, Hexagons? Tin Tops in the house. T Gray, Crypto Heartbeat, the best way to kick off a Monday. Absolutely. DJ Cryptomatic, the new Bend Over token. Is there one? Is there such a thing, man? Oh, my goodness. It's amazing what people will do. It's like we're all still 14 again. I guess it keeps you young, doesn't it? And Tin Top, I'm pretty happy doing nothing. Yeah, that's my strategy. DJ Cryptomatic, click subscribe, hit the likes button and the bell. Ryan Hungate says there's a sale made every hour. You're either buying or you're selling. BitBoy's always selling. There you go. Uncle Will, let's go, Brandon. Cookies and chocolata. Hello, everybody. Hello. Love to you all. Mr. Overbet, my aunt makes her own homemade jewelry. I thought maybe someone from Community Richard Hart would like to use services to order jewelry with their token motif. What do you think about the idea? Hey, we have all kinds of creators, and that's one of the great things about the Pulsechain launch. You can create. There's so many different ways to create businesses and opportunity and bring value to people. And creative ability is great. What will the market bear? You got some creative skills, bring it. Look at Westcott Crypto. He's bringing all of his creative skills to the table. Whoever your aunt is, Dr. Overbet, bring it on. You promote things, people will see it. And then there's Matty Crypto, the guy with the greatest mustache. I mean, he is Doc Holliday in the flesh. I'm going to 100% tune into that launch live stream. You do, Matt. I'm getting giddy for this community's financial freedom. Amen. And you want to see good people win. Am I right? Mark T, dude, I spent all my ETH on Hex, so I got nothing to shop on Pulsechain launch as well. You'll see. All right, Chuck Norris, how are you feeling for the Texan token on Pulse? I am so excited, and here's why. One of the big things, there's all kinds of people that put tokens up, right? But who's got liquidity? And there's one thing that you're going to see. The folks that are in the Texan token, I know many of them, and there are some big players, and I won't name names, but there is going to be a lot of liquidity on the Pulse chain. Because that's where we intended to launch, right? We launched on Ethereum, and you know this because of our agreement with the Texas Nationalist Movement. Now we'll be on Pulsechain, and we're going to have massive liquidity. I think it's going to be incredible. So get ready, folks. Yes, I'm very, 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 very bullish. But you know what? No financial advice here. Astro369, what's going on? Good to see you, fam. And my online goes, what's good all? And then Taryn, who started it all, Doc Holliday. Oh, man, it's been years since I heard that name. I saw Tombstone one too many times. Isn't that right? You're going to skin that smoke wagon. You're just going to stand there and bleed. South Texas Crypto BTC conference next week. History shows Always correct during conference. Perfect time for mid-May for Pulse to launch. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's all coming together right around that time. Now I need more Texan and no dry powder. Hey, folks, it's going to be exciting when things launch, but at the end of the day, you got to keep it cool, have your plan, don't nuke your account, and maybe, just maybe, we'll have a guest come in who can tell you some real good practices, because you know what? You never know what could happen. Hex on time. What's going on? Always aim high. All right. So I've got some surprises up my stream, up my sleeve. What did I just say? I've got some surprises up my sleeve for this stream. There's 149 people here. The last time I had 149 people on a stream, it was back in the bull run. This means you're excited as I am. We are getting ready for launch. And so just as a reminder to you, not only did Richard post, hey, you better be ready, right? We're extremely, exceedingly, super duper close, right? Something like that. And then, of course, BitBoy said, hey, I just found my SAC wallet. That's a big deal. That is a very, very big deal. I've got somebody in the green room, but I'm going to ask the guy that's in the green room to wait because I got something special up my sleeve. Okay. So I'm going to say hello to you. We'll talk about a few things, and then I'm just going to have to let it roll. You know what I'm saying? What's a good plan? So that's a great question. So Brandon from Rags to Riches put together a checklist. And if you haven't seen that checklist, check out on Twitter and you can request that checklist. And it's a full Pulsechain launch checklist. And it has been amazingly successful as far as distribution. And you never know who might come on this stream to give you some pointers. But I think one of the big things is, if you're like old man crypto heartbeat, the best thing I can possibly do is like not touch anything, right? There's one big thing that I think you need to be aware of, and that is revoking permissions on your wallet. And I'll ask Brandon about that. If in fact maybe he could come in or something, maybe I could talk him into it. We'll ask him about revoking permissions. But outside of that, where you get chopped up is when you're trading, right? What are the first principles of crypto, right? Stake and chill. And so this whole, there's a lot of people with a lot of strategies, but we know that there's going to be some sort of word or some sort of launch. It's going to leak out somehow. Richard's going to confirm it, right, in a tweet. And then what are we going to see? We're going to see there's going to be a period of time. It could be 24 hours. It could be 48 hours where there's no bridges open. And that's where all this ratio trading, you're going to be tempted. If you don't know what you're doing, sit on your hands. I would hate to see people get wrecked because they're playing games and looking at, oh, maybe I can get this great deal and take this risk and do all that stuff because I love pushing buttons. No. Just you've been waiting this long. Wait that extra time and just sit back, because at the end of the day, if you think about this, the people that think about Hex, right? It was 623 days until the 10,000x top. So you got some time. Right. So relax, enjoy this, celebrate with some folks. I think that's the cool thing. Let's, pop the champagne, put on the top hat. You never know. It will be a really fun time because it's really the culmination of so many things, and so many things are coming together at the same time. And so I'm going to give you my best pitch, and then I'll share with you some my trick I got up my sleeve. Okay. Number one, the Pulsechain is a new Ethereum fork. What does that mean? Richard Hart, in his brilliance, has not only forked Ethereum 2.0, but he has copied over the full system state. That means every token that you have, every ERC20, every NFT, everything you have on Ethereum is copied over onto the Pulsechain. That's really cool. You just change your RPC settings and boom, there are your tokens. Now, Ethereum has ETH as its core coin, right? That's what you use for gas fees. PLS, which is obviously short for Pulse, will be the token that you use for gas on the Pulsechain. It's the same thing. It is Ethereum 2.0. Okay, that's important to know. However, there is a DEX, that comes along with this called PulseX. PulseX is a DEX, and it is a decentralized exchange. And PulseX is where all the liquidity is going to be. There's about 600 million, I believe, in DAI that's going to likely come over and be. And that's not any users. That's just literally from the SAC money. That's my assumption. So that's huge, right? But PulseX has something that's really unique. Pulsechain has the system state copy and is deflationary. The second thing is Pulse X. Pulse X has something really special called buyback and burn. All right, folks, it's that time in the stream. You're going to get all your questions answered. You're going to be so fired up. You're not going to know what to do because, folks, this is your Pulsechain launch warning.
He's not only the CEO, he's the CFO, the CIO, the CMO, the CTO. He's the supreme I done told you. He's the mayor of Sassy City, the commander of couch cushion maintenance. In the islands, he's known as Kinkamaya Maya. He's my ace in the hole, my kid Creole, my Bob doll. He's not internationally known, but he's known to rock the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, the gentle, ginger, giant, genius, and the professor of potent pontification, Brandon from rags to riches.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon from rags to riches. It's so good to see you, Brandon.
Don't say it's good to see me.
Oh yeah, you have a nice orange beard.
I knew
What
that
is
was
that?
good. Oh no, there he is.
What's
Oh, hold on. Look, I'm Panda, guys.
Yay! What is up?
I
fellas?
don't have a lot, but I actually have some hair on top now.
Okay, Miracle Grow, bro. That's why it came out in the 90s. Come on now.
What's
Oh,
up?
man.
What's up, chat?
What
What's
is
up,
going
fools?
on? Crypto
So many
Panda in
good
the
things.
house. I didn't tell Rags you were coming in just so he could have a smile on his face. He always smiles when he sees you.
For
Honestly.
a little bit. He's not smiling about that, but I appreciate that.
What's been going on? You got the popcorn ready? Look at that.
Rags, this is the first. The buy popcorn is the first on your preparation list, right?
There's popcorn outside of the United States.
I had to buy it in a bag.
Okay. Well, I like it. I like it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved your post on Twitter with the smoke detector. That was one of the funniest things. I got a kick out of that. Brandon.
I was like, do I press send or not?
You
Just
do,
go
yeah,
for
dude.
it. Send it.
Oh my god, that is so great. Well, here's the cool thing, guys. 173 people on this stream.
Yeah.
So glad. This is just an indicator to me that we're back. Crypto Panda, you are the groundhog of all pandas. You're the one that literally has come back into the marketplace, and it's just a great sign. It's so great to have you back. How are you feeling about the timing of everything, considering Richard's post recently? How are you feeling? Because how you feel helps me.
Good. I mean, I sort of came back in to check things out because I couldn't stay away. I was lurking. I was lurking the whole time I was around, but I wasn't really participating. It's super exciting, except that I am to a point now where I'm like, I don't look at any of it and feel like we need to act. My plan is your plan. I'm not doing anything. I am being as patient as possible. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, summer 2024, work. Just work, you know, do the things that I need to do and get that done. But then paying attention. And yeah, I get excited because I like rooting for stuff. And this is the best product, the best community to root for stuff. Like, but you know what? It's just patience. It's patience. Like it will happen when it happens. People wanted it to be Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, shipping software on a Friday is the worst idea ever. There's no way that's happening. I get the timing of it all, but that's basically telling your devs, hey, nobody gets a weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the hard work you've been doing. Now you're not going to work for, 2 more days while we're doing this. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm an easily excitable person, but if it takes 2 more weeks, it takes 2 more weeks. Just get it right. Just get it right. And I do love that there's more devs that are active that can answer, those questions. And the other night I was sitting there and I was like, wait, Richard Hart trusts these guys and they trust him. They're smarter than most of us. No offense, but they're definitely smarter than us when it comes to timing and the creation of a chain and of this ecosystem. if they are trusting each other, we're in good hands. Why can't we just, why can't we trust them? And some of these babies crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? We're grown adults. We're grown adults that tell people about delayed gratification all the time. And I'm just glad they're not the ones in charge.
Yeah.
I
Well,
understand the frustration. I'm not making fun of them. I'm kind of making fun of them. I mean, but also just go find something else to do if it's not working on your schedule, because I don't care about your schedule. I care about Richard Hart's and the devs.
well, here's my recommendation. Go into one of your earliest videos from over 2 years ago and look at yourself compared to now. I think we've all aged like twice as fast. So, oh my gosh, I was looking at Brandon's from early on, and I'm like, who is this guy, man? He got toothpaste on his beard and everything since they launched, announced the Pulsechain launch. Hey, Brandon, so many people are asking about plans. You've created the checklist for the Pulsechain. Can you tell people how to find that?
Yeah, so you can go to youtube.com/@R2R.
Okay.
And you can check out the checklist. We had probably, I think there were 300,000 views, impressions rather, across Twitter and YouTube on that. And I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that it was helpful. And all we really did, Matt, was just kind of take everything we talk about every day and just create it, like just consolidate it and curate it and make it easily digestible. So it was good.
That's good. Well, how are you feeling about the mainnet launch? I asked the Panda.
I don't give a damn. I don't care. All of you guys out there, I don't care. Just so much drama and this and that. Matt, I'm like, here's let me just tell you something. Okay. There's a bad side of me, and I refer to this bad side of me as Rigby. All right. And sometimes Rigby tries to come out. And on Twitter, man, Rigby wants to come out on a lot of people, but I'm good.
It's also, isn't Rigby like 99% of your personality, but the 1% is just holding the damn, like,
dude, it's holding, dude. I can hear him screaming from here. But so I'm good. I could be really good at outrage marketing. Okay, but I don't go there. So guys, here's the thing. Old Rags is patient. Out of 1 out of 10, I'm probably a 9 patient. I've been that way this entire time because it's such a small amount of time that you have to wait for really, really awesome price appreciation. 2 years is nothing, and I'm just chilling. I the whole time I've been, the whole time. So,
well, I find it hard to believe. I get all worked up, and you calm me down every time. I can't believe that you've got Rigby.
I got Rigby. I'm pretty good with Rigby at this point. So I figured him out. That happened within the last 10 years.
Okay. So, what do you say to Hexy Quinn, who tells you to calm down?
I think Hexy Quinn's talking to everybody to calm down.
No, I think that was directly to Brandon.
Calm down, Hexy Quinn. She can't tell me to calm down. Shoot.
A man named Rigby cannot be that scary. Dude. Yeah, he needs a better brand.
He does.
No. Brand. There's a story behind Rigby, and we will talk about it one day, but we're not going to talk about it.
Rigby sounds like a dog we used to carry around for too long.
Actually, there's a children's book called Rigby the Raccoon.
Okay,
and that's where it came from. No, just Rags, old Hexy Quinn.
Very mischievous.
She's the bane of my existence. Tired of her.
Yeah.
Tired of it.
She probably loves that.
I know. I shouldn't feed into it.
Yeah, Rigby sounds like the gingerbread man in Shrek.
Hey, my UPS guy's here. I'll be right back.
All right. See you, man.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh.
At least he said he was leaving.
Yeah, and didn't just jump off. Oh my gosh. So Panda, here's a cool thing. I know that you are a CEO of a software company. You've been working hard over this last year. We haven't seen a whole lot of you. You've been watching from the background. Mm-hmm. What does your kind of next year look like? When it comes to, do you think you're going to be making more content as you need to, or will you come back into the space more, or do I have to just drag you out occasionally?
Probably you just drag me out. I'll be on Twitter because I like Twitter, and I don't have a name for whatever my Rigby is, but it's definitely more alive on Twitter. And it definitely comes. I don't know what it is. Like I want everyone to win and I want everyone to be happy. But lately when I've been seeing people complain, I'm like, wait longer. Like I want Richard
Yeah.
Hart to put another week, because people get upset about it, but I'm also
Yeah.
like, it just feels, I don't want to say it's not necessarily hypocritical because I understand, but we are the community of delayed gratification. Like
True.
if we're all on brand, we should just be the most chillest bunch ever.
Yep.
And yet I understand it's a long time. But the thing for me is, because I have no plans, because I have no plans of launch to me just means it gets to start a longer, a longer time frame that I have, which for me, and this is thanks to your friend Sami. I really like that content creator.
Yep.
He's a voice of reason, and some people don't like him because he's not a maxi, but I actually really appreciate him. He's got me focused on 2025, and he, through the stuff that he says, he's helped me give myself permission to just proceed with making my life the way that I want it, in the work that I'm doing until then. And I got my eyes on crypto the whole time. But I mean, I'll do more streams if I get invited to it. But Twitter is kind of my guilty pleasure, and I'm busy at work, doing what I'm doing. So, yeah, dude, I'm always around when you ask me.
That's awesome. Well, you got to be ready. You have to stand ready. I literally took my microphone home this weekend because I was like, if it launches, I want to make sure I have decent sound. And so I've literally been thinking about, like, are you on standby? So like literally whenever this goes live, we can jump on. So that, this is your final warning, right? This is it. And I really feel like, Richard's been pretty clear it could happen at any time. But then this most recent tweet that happened yesterday to me was the warning shot. And then for me, was BitBoy saying, "Oh, I found my sack wallet." Why in the world, with as busy as he is, and he's caught up in lawsuits, he's launching his own token, he's got the BitBoy show, he's going to be on a new TV show. I mean, he's got all of these things going, and why does he just happen to say, "Oh yeah, I found my Pulsechain, let's see how this goes"? That to me is the indicator that the scheduling is happening with Richard. Do you think I'm on point, or do you think that may actually be just me speculating once again?
I think that's a good take. I also I don't know who didn't pay attention to BitBoy when he was little, but he's very, very good at getting attention. And I think that there's another way to get eyes on him. I mean, I noticed he didn't tag anything, he didn't put any hashtags or whatever, but he knows Hexicans are watching the terms, in all ways. So getting eyes on his project, I have my back and forth in how I feel about him, but I actually think that this coin that he's launching is the BitBoy top, because once you launch a coin, then you get everything that comes with it, and so either he's decided that they don't want to get paid openly or otherwise for other projects, and this is their play, or not. But now it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to do and hold the content strategy that they had, because now he is working for those particular holders. But if people want to invest in that, and I'm the same way. Like, I have the things that I love, and I love them, and I've learned to love them. I've learned to love Richard Hart products by allowing myself to be degen and other things. And it's just like, I get burned every time I touch that stove, so I just stop touching it. But he's a smart dude, and what I think would be an interesting test for Richard is if BitBoy invites him on to talk about Pulsechain, and then asks him something about the token, and what Richard's response will be. That'll be the true test of new Richard, how he maintains being the that nice guy instead of maybe saying what he really thinks.
Well, and what's sad about it, I think you're absolutely right. This is the ultimate. Now, he does have that television show coming out. I think it's called Killer Whales. And so there's probably, he's going to probably become more, public media facing. But yeah, I really think you're right. When you launch your own token, you don't realize what you're getting into. And it's a concern, because it does change the dynamics, as you're not seen as partial anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, and to think that you would do this over the meme coin craze, because this is just a leading indicator of what's to follow. And, let me ask you this, your take on this. When you see all this happening with these meme coins, right? Pepe and Bob and all these other derivations of this stuff, you're seeing a ton of money come into crypto. Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, where was that money before? So is it an indicator for what's to come? And, or do you think that, with banks failing everywhere and the things that are happening in the world, do you think that this is just a leading indicator for the bull run?
I mean, so it's kind of it's a leading indicator for the bull run, but the thing that's twisting, that's kind of messing with me a little bit is it usually this ridiculousness happens in the bull run euphoria. BitBoy launches a coin at the euphoria, and I'm like, take your profits and get out because everything's about to come crashing down. So I was like, wait, the last couple months that's been our bull run? That sucks, But the thing is that meme coins serve a very good purpose, and I know that there's people in the community that made money, with them. So good on them. They serve a very good purpose. My kids obviously know the sound of Richard Hart's voice. They wear a hex shirt, they know that, but they just know about Dogecoin because it's Dogecoin. That's it. So memes help get that. Oh yeah, I'll throw a little bit of money into this, and they give people a reason to talk about crypto that's not on that serious side of like, things should get pretty dark pretty quickly when you start talking about the truth of what's going on in the world. Hey, I have this funny thing that I can invest a little bit of money in. All of those things bring more adoption to crypto. I just didn't think that all this meme stuff was going to happen right now. And maybe it's from boredom. I just figured it'd be. I mean, if it's this now, then when the bull market's happening, like we're all going to have our own coins. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So Brandon, what do you
Rags coin?
The Rags.
I'd buy some Rags coin.
You're on mute there. Hey Rags. So what do you think? So let me set you up just so that I want to hear your best thinking on this. We see this BRC20 stuff come out and it is flooded the Bitcoin, market. Transactions are basically, Binance is shut down. Withdrawals of Bitcoin, basically it's seized up with as many transactions that are outstanding. So it's extremely slow and expensive, but also, gas fees for Ethereum have gone through the roof. We've got banks failing. We've got, interest rate stuff, all of those things going on. One of the big concerns is, everybody gets excited about meme coin craze, but we may not have seen the bottom yet. What's your take?
What's my take on this? It would not surprise me if we didn't see the bottom yet. I will say that definitely. And that's because, everybody is now calling for a recession after not calling for a recession for the past 18 months. Now we were calling for a recession because we stuck to the original definition and we didn't just kind of go, with the field goal posts kind of moving there. But, I think that we could see further downside. But I think that this pop off with the meme culture is an indication of people are ready to put their money into something and make it run.
Yeah. Yep.
Now you saw the Pepe stuff and you saw the Wall Street bet stuff and you saw the Wojak stuff. I think guys, we're in a bear market. I think those are going to run really, really hard. A lot of people don't like it when I say that. But again, Mayor of Realville, population 1. That's what's going to happen. All right.
Yeah.
So you're going to see all of these things run in a bull market, and I think that this is just a hint of how excited people are for the bull market to be back.
Yep, totally agree. We got Michael Stellaire. Is that right? T-Bar CEO. Now this recent slight pump was like the June 2019 fake pump. Now we see sell in May and go away for the third year in a row. It may be very, very true. But folks, the cool thing about it is we haven't had a Pulsechain launch in ever, right? Mm-hmm. And so to think that this, I think a lot of people were critical of Richard Hart when he was like, well, we got to do ETH 2.0. And we thought about, faster and better and all these kind of things. And now here we sit where everything is basically seized up, unusable pretty much. And here we've got the Pulsechain ready to launch. I think it's like the most wonderful, serendipitous moment is that the timing just got better because basically, I don't know, 75% of crypto is almost unusable for regular people. So I think we're going to see something really unique happen here very, very shortly. Crypto Stylist is here. I just want to say hello to her.
Dang, lots.
I know.
This is awesome.
We got 198 people here. Brandon, what are your thoughts? I know you got something to say.
Dude, guys, let me tell you something, man. there is a lot to be discussed about the Bitcoin congestion.
Oh yeah.
This is major. And here's what's funny. We talk about Cointelegraph and CoinDesk and all these folks who are, they created these news agencies to pump Bitcoin's bags, and they're not really reporting on this as much as I thought they should be. And it makes sense because it's really a bad thing for Bitcoin. They're going to have to get their act together. They're going to have to come together as a community. They're going to have to make changes. And there's a lot of people, a lot of purists and maximalists on the Bitcoin side that just don't want to do it. And what does that mean for us? That means that if Bitcoin gets weird in the transactions, you know what? High gas fees are one thing, but transactions just not going through or failing 10 or 20 times in a row, that won't cut it.
Mm-mm.
So you could see a mass exodus to EVM-based chains because Bitcoin is, I've said this all along, they have got to adapt or they die. They're going to be Kodak all over again. They're going to be Blockbuster all over again.
Dude, it's so true. They saw what happens when you try to turn a spreadsheet into actual software. And it's not going well. It's not. I mean, for them to I didn't go down that rabbit hole too deep, but to see some of these strategic things, like basically the opposite of decentralization. So they're stepping on their own toes to try to get out of this mess in terms of this narrative and this philosophy that's been driving forward. And so, dude, of course they're not going to talk about it on maxi channels. It's not a fun thing for them to talk about.
Matt,
Hey,
did you?
I just have to say, we got 214 people here. The Shibarium dev squad is here. We're excited for Pulsechain. It'll be great for the crypto space. I'm going to ask you guys a favor. If you are on Twitter, would you share this stream out right now for us? I want to set some new records here because this is the Pulsechain launch warning. Let's bring as many people in to hear about the Pulsechain. We'll go back through Richard Hart's tweets. We'll go back through an overview of what the Pulsechain is. This is incredible as far as the number of people are coming in. This is the Pulsechain launch warning. I want to share why we're doing that. Sorry to interrupt you, Brandon.
No, I'm trying to. This is just like so perfect in so many ways here. And I'm going to tell you, there's a guy named Chris Bleck, and he's I think he's got 50,000 followers. He's on Twitter, and he's a big time Bitcoin guy.
Yep.
So he shares this. He says
he was a big time DeFi guy.
He was,
but all the things he was supporting got wrecked, and now
so
he's trying to, anyway. Sorry.
No. It's perfect, and here's why. Just the day before, the 400,000 Bitcoin transactions got clogged up. Right. The day before that, I had a back and forth with this guy. Did you see this, Matt?
Mm-mm.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and share it because it's actually very applicable to what we're talking about.
Congratulations on not being blocked by that dude, by the way. I don't know any Hexicans or Pulsechain people that aren't blocked.
Zoom in on that. There you go. Yeah, that guy's he's a fudder of all fudders.
All right. So this is just so perfect. He says, little Billy, Mommy, why does it cost almost $80 to do a swap on Uniswap? Mommy, shh, honey, it's a bullish sign. Ultrasound money. Little Billy, but Mommy, how is it bullish if I can't afford to transact? Mommy, shh, no more FUD. Go to sleep. Sweet dreams. So then Rags to Riches busts through the wall in
Rigby.
all of his.
This is Rigby.
Rigby to riches. Rags to Rigby. All right.
Rags to Rigby.
All right. So I come in and I say, Mommy, where does all the Bitcoin go that mining companies mine? Go back to bed, Christopher. Mommy, tell me. Mommy pauses and looks away with a single tear falling from her cheek. She wipes the tear, simply smearing the moisture across her face, and turns back towards Christopher, knowing what she was about to say would change his little world. With uncontrollable emotion, she answers, Christopher, they market dump on our heads and pay for their business loans. Christopher gasps. They market dump on regular folks' heads to avoid going bankrupt in the bear market. Christopher is inconsolable at this point. They market dump to pay for hundreds of thousands of new miners, and they get rich along with the banks that loan them the money on the backs of Mommy and Daddy. Christopher passes out. He regains consciousness 30 minutes later. He turns to Mommy and asks, Mommy, I had a vision that BRC-20s and ordinals were going to break Bitcoin. Is this true? She didn't have the heart to do it to him again. To be continued.
Oh, my gosh.
And then Bitcoin broke the next day.
Oh, my God.
Bitcoin
Really?
broke
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That prophecy came true.
Dude.
I
Oh
was
my
like, oh,
gosh.
this is the most beautiful.
Poetry.
And guys, I didn't use Chat GPT. You can
Dude.
Chat GPT check this one day when they have that technology. Off the dome piece here, guys.
That's good. That's a good
Dude,
story.
that's fantastic. That is
Wow.
But it was just perfect timing. Perfect timing.
fantastic. 222 people here. Yeah, Rags is a wordsmith for sure. Jonathan Kampala's here. Thanks for being here, man. Good to see you. All right,
Axis
folks.
alive. Hey, can I say
Axis?
something real fast? Can I
No
give a shout out?
way. Axie's alive, dude. I
Shout
want
out-
to stream with you, Axie, by the way. Go ahead.
Axis alive. I literally was talking about Axis alive while surfing yesterday.
Whoa.
About being one of the great ones, like
Yep.
smart, self-aware, super bullish, has not seemingly, I mean, maybe I don't know how he's off camera, but seemingly hasn't let it go to his head. I love the guy. Love him. By the way, my shout out is to all of the new content creators.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like I'm frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
We can hear you though.
Okay,
Yeah.
all of the new content creators in the ecosystem and the old ones. I mean, back when we were doing this more regularly, I was encouraging people as much as possible to get, to create content, and I'm just so inspired by all the new folks that we've seen on. In fact, someone just jumped into chat. Is it Richard Hart shared a Pulsechain video? I want to say it was by.
Oh yeah. I think Scott Foster
Explain?
Harris. Yeah, it was, and Scott Foster Harris did the voiceover for it.
So good. Dang it, man! My camera's heating up or something.
That's this is incredible. So, folks, I want to share with you. Axie is unruly. It is so great. Thank you. See you in Charlotte, Rags. Thanks, Crypto Panda. Fantastic. All right. So let's get back into it. I know that Crypto Panda has to run to a meeting. Do you have to run to a meeting, buddy, or you got some time?
I do. No, since my camera's freezing up, I might as well just leave now. But
Okay.
I got a thing in about 3 minutes. So,
all right, man. Well, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming out.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Be good,
Much
buddy.
love to you guys. Thanks a lot,
You
chat.
too, man.
Have a great
See you,
day.
man. See you
Bye-bye.
very soon.
Yes. Okay. Ciao.
See you. Ciao. Oh man, Brags, this is big. So let's jump back in. I want to rewind and kind of give the thing. I'm going to do the Pulsechain. You do Pulsex, okay? So, folks, I want to share with you what got this whole thing started today. Why did I call this the Pulsechain launch warning? So we're going to go back for those of you who have come in late, and I want to share with you. All right, I want to share with you this tweet from Richard Hart. So this is what really got things, exciting and started. I'm really looking forward to the pulsechain.com mainnet. Surely you've tested testnet v4 extensively and totally ready for mainnet. Question: you have your game plan ready? There looks to be extremely not much left to be done. That is a big warning. And that happened about 21 hours ago, right before we went on with KG hosted us with the Pulsechain builders. Did you know there's 150 projects on the Pulsechain ready for launch, folks? And so this is a big deal. But if you're not familiar with what the Pulsechain is, and Rags will share with you PulseX, Pulsechain is a new Ethereum fork by Richard Hart, who is the founder of Hex. That is the cryptocurrency that went up 10,000x in 623 days. Folks, this is a vertically aligned ecosystem. It will have a layer one, but it's very unique. The innovation is that it not only is going to have the entire system state copied over. So any tokens or NFTs, anything that you have on Pulsechain is going to be copied over. And so when that fork happens and when the announcement's made, you're going to be able to change your RPC settings in your MetaMask wallet, and you'll be able to see your tokens. That is really incredible. But it's not just that. People have said, well, that's happened before, Rags, or ETH POW. Yeah, but it did not have liquidity. And so let's talk about liquidity, and I'll pass it over to you for PulseX.
Yeah, so that's the neat thing about this. Isn't just some chain that's launching. We have infrastructure. That's what separates us. We have liquidity. That's what separates us. And by infrastructure, I mean we have PulseX, right? So PulseX is going to be the exchange of choice on Pulsechain, and it's going to be extremely liquid. It's going to have all the pairs that are essentially kind of copied over from Ethereum. You're going to have those pairs on Pulsechain. I don't want to blow people's minds here, but it's, the ratios are going to be fixed from Ethereum over to Pulsechain. There's going to be an incentive token to be able to incentivize kind of liquidity providers beyond the fees that they're already going to be making with people, trading, which is pretty neat too. The trading fees are going to be dirt cheap. PulseX has a 0.29% fee that users will get to pay on every swap. And that's actually, I think that's cheaper than Sushi Swap. That's cheaper than Trader Joe. That's cheaper than Quick Swap. That's cheaper than Uniswap, which is nice. 76% of those fees are actually going to be distributed to liquidity providers. And then we have something called a buy and burn. So 21% of those fees are going to be used to buy up and then burn PLSX, which is the native token for PulseX. So that's a lot of math has been done on that. And we kind of take a look at volume in bull markets with other decentralized exchanges. And it looks very, very bullish that this PLSX token is going to be bought and burned with every transaction. And that kind of makes it deflationary in that way. It's nice to have all the liquidity that is kind of centralized in one place initially. That means everybody's going to be using it. That means PulseX is going to be burned. So, PulseX is very special because it will be fully built out. It's been fully tested. It's been ready for a very long time, and I'm excited for it.
Good. Well, I've got a bit of a delay on your video a little bit there. I don't know if you've been having any issues on your side, but just
you still have a delay.
Now it's better. Okay. Yes, Greg, you're right. Copied over from Ethereum, right? So the entire system state of Ethereum is copied over onto the Pulsechain. Here's one that's interesting. Which will have fewer coins, Hex on Pulsechain Pulsechain, or probably Ethereum or Pulsechain. It's a straight up copy, including all stakes, right, Brandon?
Yeah. Which will have fewer coins, Hex on Pulsechain So initially, it's just going to be a copy straight over, and then after that, they're two separate entities completely. They are actually kind of two separate cryptos, in a way. Yeah.
Look who's here, man. Tex Hex.
What's up, Tex Hex?
Good to see you. Yes, this launch, Mark Hanrad is saying this launch represents no less than a paradigm shift in crypto. I want to speak to that. There's a lot more going on here than the last bull run, right? There's a lot of things are different in the world right now. And I would say the number one is the money printer has been turned off. Where is this money going to come from? And to see Pepe and all of these, crazy meme coins have so much money coming into them says to me, people are chomping at the bit to get going. And if you think about this, if we see, banks continue to implode and are bought out by, JP Morgan Chase, right? And they're consolidating banks. And we see all of the, unrest in the world, and we see the FedNow ledger coming online, CBDCs. I mean, there's a limitation. You can't spend more than $1,000 cash in Europe, the euro. You're going to be able to track everything. I think there's going to be a wake-up call to people where are you going to get trustless yield? And do you mind kind of sharing your perspective of what could happen for DeFi in this unique time and moment when the Pulsechain launches? What is the most attractive part of DeFi that really hasn't had its day in the sun? What are your thoughts?
Well, there's always been another option, and that's been centralized exchanges. So we saw an absolute murder scene in the past 24 months with regards to centralized exchanges. They have managed to significantly decrease their reputation, and many of them have kind of died off. So these big institutions are looking for vehicles to be able to put their money in. They would have put it in centralized exchanges before, but they're looking for something else, trustless way, something safer. I think DeFi is going to represent cumulatively a large amount of the portfolios of these institutional investors and traders. And I think that that's going to be the big difference. It doesn't happen all at once, Matt, but I think that we move into maybe over the next 5 years, it's just going to be a steady increase for us. Now, what does that mean for Pulsechain? Well, that means that once people do find out that Pulsechain is pretty much a copy of Ethereum. It's going to stay up to date. There's already a community behind it. It's very well capitalized. And there are some other really, really big benefits and features too, which is, the lack of OFAC compliance for one thing. Some people might be worried about that. They're worried about bureaucracy having their fingers tangled in operations. And I don't think that Richard Hart plays that game. So I think that there's just a ton of benefits, especially money-wise, because that's what people think first and foremost, gas fees, that sort of thing. It's going to be cheaper. There's just so many cool benefits for this, and it's needed in the marketplace. We need something to kind of relieve that pressure on Ethereum.
Yeah, and when you see that you can transact with the same tokens at a fraction of the cost is huge. Chuck Norris said this, as well as some other folks in the chat, that GitLab just updated and mentions mainnet now. So what I think is cool is I don't know what that looks like. I haven't looked at it myself, but wouldn't it be awesome if, right at the end of our stream, mainnet launches? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah. You not get excited about anything. Sovereignty. Well, and that's a big thing. Kinetics is in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Here's my thought. The thing that matters the most to me about this is really what the long-term vision and the Richard Hart's legacy. Here's a guy who has been one in the wilderness, basically preaching against centralized entities, right? The original reason that Bitcoin was invented, and of course that's become essentially a de facto CBDC now, and now is unusable. And so you think about this, is it an attack on Bitcoin? Well, whatever it may be, it's the perfect timing for there to be an alternative. But to us, when we talk about alternatives, Brandon, we're talking way bigger than what a lot of people think. Oh, it's just a cheaper place for me to do some transactions. No, I want you guys to see this. There's a point in the future where people could literally say, all right, if there's some sort of tragedy or crisis and there needs to be stimulus money put in the hands of people again, they're going to do it in a digital dollar with a government issued wallet. And folks, that's how the money's going to come next time. And if it comes that way next time, guess what? You're going to have to accept the government CBDC, which means they can track every transaction. It's already happening across the world. I look at the Pulsechain not as, hey, it's nice and, when Lambo. I look at it as this is likely the only place, because of the leadership of Richard Hart, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom to transact, freedom of privacy. These things have to be maintained. And when I talked to Richard at the PulseCon, he goes, it used to be that if somebody read your mail, it was a federal offense. And now every ISP and Google and everybody reads your mail and then markets to you based on what's in your email. So we gave up our rights when we went digital. The same thing is what they're trying to do now. They want us to give up our rights and it's the right to privacy that we give up when we go to this digital version of money. And to think that we have at least some hope that someone like Richard Hart would stand up against that, to me, that is so valuable, because I think a lot of people are just looking at the money right now going, oh yeah, this is great. It's going to be up and to the right and next bull run. That is awesome. And it's likely true. However, you do not want to be in a situation where somebody can stop you from buying and selling. And I've read a book that talks about that. And I want to tell you, that's scary stuff. And to think that we have a place that we could do transactions that's not, like you said, OFAC compliant, being in a place where there's some freedom and sovereignty for you to do some things in private. And I don't mean no KYC, and I don't mean, the dark web. I'm talking about a place that they're not tracking every transaction that you make and demanding or knowing every wallet that you have. What are your thoughts on that? And how important is freedom and sovereignty as it relates to the Pulsechain? And do you think it could be that representation for us?
I think Pulsechain is a good step. It's certainly not private at layer one, but I'll tell you this. I don't think the government should have any business in our money whatsoever. I don't think they should be KYCing people. I think that they have other ways to be able to do their job to find out who the bad actors are without punishing 95% of the people out there, or 99%. Everybody, 100% of people are punished, regardless if you did something wrong or not. And you give an inch, they take a mile. That's what the government has done over and over and over again. And now we're conditioned as a society to just expect it. And now what else are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing Venmo transactions $600 more. You have to be reported. And we're seeing this and that. It's just it's just not a good trajectory that we're on. So I think that at least we have the technology to be able to respond, and maybe that will serve us very, very well in the future.
Yep. So check this out. This is what they're talking about. This is a big deal, folks. This is really cool. And of course, we're speculating like everybody's speculating, but take a look at this. This is from Bretep himself. This is an update 23 minutes ago, and it's the file's mainnet. Yeah, 24 minutes ago, folks. And so that's what I think people are seeing here is that there's activity and, the title of mainnet here, pure speculation, but it's, within the last 20 minutes. So that's pretty exciting stuff, folks.
What does it say? Click it.
All right, hang on. Let's dive in. We're going into unknown territory here.
I'm just curious what it
Ready
says.
to merge by members who can write to the target branch.
Oh, got it. Cool. Sweet, man.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, folks. I'm telling you, man, if we could time it like this, 243 people here, Rags. Folks, if you haven't subscribed, please help Crypto Heartbeat get to 10,000 subs. That would be a good thing to do. Like and share this. And obviously, we'll continue to go through what's going on with the Pulsechain, because I think there's a lot of people who are new. A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork because they're so excited. We haven't had this many people on a stream since the bull run. And folks, I'm ready for it to be back in action, because this is about as consolidated of hope as you can possibly get, because you see a future that could be different. How do you feel about, you represent, I consider to be regular folks, right? You started your Rags to Riches, Telegram long before crypto. And it seems like, and I make fun of them as degenerates, but there's a lot of good folks that are in there. I feel like why I love this community and the community that you represent and I represent is regular people who have seen hard times. I love seeing people like that win. I know you don't normally say nice things, but what do you think about that?
Well,
withhold your approval, Brandon. Withhold it.
Here's the truth of the matter. And we're going to kind of get philosophical with it here, but
come on.
You look back in history, you look at every society, and there's classes of people, right? There's an elite class, and these elite classes are typically trained for statehood, and they're trained for government. And you can see that these days, for example, a lot of the people in my town, their kids, when they're born, they're going to the Naval Academy. Yeah. And they're going to get out of the Naval Academy, and they're going to serve 4 years as officers. And they're going to come out as O3s, lieutenants, this or that. And then they're going to go into the corporate world, and they're going to climb the corporate ladder. That's just what happens with these folks. And it sets them up for success in that way. The neat thing here is with crypto, you're kind of hijacking the system and you're hacking the system.
Yeah.
And you're allowing people with really, really good values. You're allowing people with strong moral compass. Well, most of the time, except for Crypto Compassion and Sam, but
that's right.
You're allowing these people to kind of jump to the head of the line, and it's crazy, right? Because it's like, wow, I really don't have to do all this work that everybody else does, and I get to reap all the benefits. You can think about it that way, but think about this too. The simple fact that you had one of these things caught your attention, and now you're involved in crypto. And then the second part is now you were patient enough to wait this entire time, and now you're going to be rewarded. Yep. Patience is not something that everybody has. All right. And then another thing is people don't take risks. People don't seize opportunities. And you've done that as well. So yes, I love seeing people win. I love seeing people jump to the head of the line because they had some virtues that other people didn't. And I think that's awesome. And it levels the playing field in a really, really big way.
That's fantastic. Folks, I feel like something special is happening right now. It's 250 people here, and Hexyquin is here saying, come on with it, Rags. Say something nice. Craig BMM says, wouldn't it be something if we just see the mainnet file transfer live on stream? How crazy would that be? How wonderful would that be? And Humberto Gonzalez, I must take a moment to thank you both for being a part of the community. While others fled, you both stuck through thick and thin. Great to see how many views you get today. Kudos to you both. you know, we have been here through the bear market pretty much daily, Brandon,
Mhm.
and it has been. It's like being refined, you know, because you know how it is coming up with content and thinking through these things and
Oof.
keeping people excited and all that. And then, of course, we're excited about the Texan token, right? Texan token is going to launch on Pulsechain, and I want to get your opinion about, because you know way more than I do about this. There's going to be liquidity, right? You think about all of that data that's going to come across, and then you think about how many people we know have Pulse and PulseX. I really think that we're going to see massive amount of liquidity and pairs on these core tokens that are going to be launched on the Pulse chain, and it's going to be different, right? There's going to be a thick liquidity, and I think that's a really key, really important to people who are coming in to see the health of something. They really look at liquidity and holders. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so the two ways that L1s die, and pass away, one of the ways is they don't have infrastructure. Okay,
Yep.
so that's why L1s kind of fade away. And then the other reason is they don't have liquidity. So I would imagine that a large portion, if I'm just speculating right now, I don't know, I would imagine that a large portion of that those sacrificed dollars and that value is going to go into providing liquidity. We already know that we have the AMM bot that goes in and buys up all the pairs and then fixes them and then puts them in the DEX in PulseX. So that's cool. So I think Matt, that I think that we are all just poised to do some really, really cool things, man. Liquidity is going to be there. Infrastructure is going to be there. We have tons of builders that are just coming out with cool stuff every single day. And Matt, you and I, man, we're just, we're like, man, dude, I mean, it's competition is tough out there, but that's a great thing for us.
Yeah.
We want competition. We want people to be incentivized to go build cool stuff and build this world out. So, we're not complaining, Matt.
No, not
No.
a single bit. And obviously, I'm extremely optimistic about the future, but I'm so excited about the vision that Richard Hart is communicating, folks. I think it's going to be so critical to hear from Richard in this time of really, he's got a new message that's his old message, and that is censorship resistant, immutable contracts on the blockchain, what it was originally intended for. And if we don't defend the true tenets of DeFi, we're going to have major, major issues. And folks, he's the only guy. I'm going to bet on that horse. And if you don't like the way Richard's done some things, that's fine. But here's the thing. You're going to want this Pulse chain to be appropriately and sufficiently decentralized so that it can't be shut down by governments if somebody outlaws this or that or the other. And I know that Richard Hart knows what he's up against because he saw this future way before we did. And so it is so exciting to be at this moment, and to have Crypto Panda on and all of that. But I'm really, really thankful for it. Derivative Genius says, is this actually launch day? Hey, it's amazing to me. We basically said this is going to be the launch warning because Richard said it was get ready. And then to see these things happening while we're on stream here is absolutely tremendous. We got 258 people here. I can sense that there's something in the air, if you know what I mean. So what's your plan, right? You've written the paper or the book on the checklist for this. A lot of people that watch Crypto Heartbeat, probably aren't, super, they're not all OG crypto folks. What would you say to someone who's new to crypto, but they got into maybe the Saks, they got into Pulse or PulseX, or they're really excited? What would you advise them as far as not financial advice, but like giving them, how to react? Because I think a lot of people love pushing buttons, Rags.
They do. And that's, for a new person, that's probably the worst thing that you can do. So my recommendation to you is just to take things as slow as possible. All right. The amount of excitement, the amount of button pushing that you do has to be indirectly proportional to your excitement. That's very important. Okay. So just chill, just wait. I'm going to give you some resources. And I want to say this too. There are so many resources out there in this community, and I don't feel good always shilling my stuff. I want you to look at everything, but there are two places you can go right now. You can go to mycryptoclassroom.com to just get a 1 hour crash course in cryptocurrency to give yourself an idea of what you're dealing with. And then I would recommend that you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@R2R, and I have a Pulsechain checklist. And basically what I did, I just got on stream and I created notes and I talked about everything that everybody else talks about. And I just put it all in one video. So I can't take credit for all the ideas in there. And after you've done that, I'm going to be coming out with a really, really cool video. I'm actually looking at the PowerPoint right now. It's got like, 20 slides, and I'm going to talk about the game theory of what's about to happen. So this is going to be launched very soon, within a couple hours, because I've been trying to time the market too. So
Wow.
yeah. So I would start with those three things. Ask a lot of questions. Get in. You can get in the text and chat. We've got great admins. I would highly recommend too. I'll say this. Any of the ACOSA Hedron chat, you can look at like Crypto Sloth. You can look at people like Cryptographics, and there's just really, really smart people there. I think you can land there. I would stay out of hex trading unless you want to get chewed up and spit out. That's just the culture. It's a meme culture. It's Richard Hart, maximalist, crazy. They'll chew you up. So stay out of there for now until you learn a little bit more.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic advice. Now let's talk about the person who just learned about Pulsechain. They're like, what?
Mhm.
There was some sort of sacrifice. I don't know anything about this, but I'm paying attention to crypto. This sounds like a big deal. What would you say to somebody who's like, okay, I understand what you're doing. It seems like an opportunity. I've got some dry powder. What do you say to somebody like that? Because, my understanding is new layer ones and just basically everything. I look at all new things that launch and you kind of see excitement and then you see a dip. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So the first thing that I would probably do, I would learn how to change my network in MetaMask.
Okay.
I think that's probably number one. So you're probably used to being in Coinbase. You're used to being in Binance.us or Binance.com. So we're in decentralized finance now. Download MetaMask, learn how to change the settings. How do you do that? Well, one way you can do it is you can just change. You can go to add Pulsechain testnet. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The other way you can do it is just go to YouTube and say how to change network in MetaMask.
Yep.
And you're going to see the step-by-step. It's probably like 3 or 4 steps, and you'll see the information that's needed. And then when Pulsechain launches, you're going to see that same information released on Richard Hart's channels. So you'll know how to change the network over to Pulsechain. Once you do that, if you have any sort of if you have tokens or assets in MetaMask right now, they will have been copied over. So you're going to have access to those. And if you want to actually purchase Pulsechain, it would be important for you to learn about pulseramp.com. So that's going to be able to take your economic energy from your bank account all the way to Pulsechain and be able to buy up assets. So I would just kind of go through those steps at first. If you have questions, again, get into a group that that I mentioned here. There's a lot of good ones out there, but those two I can actually endorse.
Awesome. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Pulsechain launch if without Texan Token. And so Brandon and I are co-founders of the Texan Token, and this is our first community that we're tokenizing. The second one is called Ophir Crypto, and that's out of the Philippines. And we're going to continue to tokenize communities. And we got some unique opportunities and things coming up that are going to be really exciting. But to me right now, Pulsechain launch is imminent. And this is your launch warning, folks. It is great to be here at this time. Let's see what we've got.
Benny Blanco makes a good point. Yeah, it's for professional sense of humors.
Yeah,
and it's for pros. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Folks, thanks for joining the Pulse today. My name is Matt. This is Brandon from Rags to Riches. I'd highly recommend that you pay attention, because this may be a late night for us as we watch the Pulsechain launch, but we're going to be back as soon as we see Pulsechain launch with Crypto Panda eating some popcorn. One of the last things I want you to cover, Rags, for everyone is this time before the bridges open. Let's tell folks about that, because there's going to be a time where it's live, but the bridges aren't open. What does that mean, and how could that get you wrecked?
Yeah. All right. So I have a big problem with, well, I'm not actually going to go into it. The whole point of this operation and evolution in crypto is to not nuke yourself. All right. You're going to hear a lot of people who have a little bit more experience in cryptocurrency. They're going to talk about the ratio trading. Now, what exactly does that mean? That means when your copies come over from Ethereum to Pulsechain, there's going to be a period of time when there's not going to be any value that is associated with the underlying asset on the Ethereum side. Okay. Because the bridge is what actually connects those prices from Ethereum over. But not only that, it also allows stable coins and other things to come over to Pulsechain. So real life prices and market discovery can happen. So all I'm saying here is for the first couple days before that ramp is open, I would be very, very careful about trading one asset for another because the ratios can be very, very far off. What do I mean by that? I say, well, before the bridge opens, you can have PLSX and Pulsechain. You trade a bunch of PLSX for Pulsechain, but then the bridge opens, the market determines that it's exactly the opposite, and you lose out quite a bit. I'm not going to suggest that anybody go down that road. If you feel comfortable with somebody else telling you how to do it, then that's fine. But I would suggest if you're new, just stay away from it, chill, and then have a long-term strategy, DCA plan, and go from there.
Folks, it is an exciting time. We've waited almost 2 years for the Pulsechain launch. And if you're not familiar, the Pulsechain is a fork of Ethereum 2.0, but it copies over the system state. Every single token, every NFT, every contract on Ethereum is going to be copied over to the Pulsechain. That means all you have to do is change your RPC settings in like MetaMask, and you will see your tokens. Folks, it's incredible because of the timing, because of the tokenomics, because of the pumpamentals. But I am most excited about PulseX. PulseX is a decentralized exchange that will be extremely liquid. But what's unique about PulseX is the fact that it has a buy back and burn function. For those of you who don't know what that is, on this DEX, every single transaction, every trade, every swap, everything has a little fee, and that fee goes to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to buy PulseX and burn it. And what's incredible about that is imagine within the stock exchange, every single trade that happens, a little tiny fraction goes to buy one stock. What do you think will happen to that one stock? PulseX is bringing something to the marketplace through the genius of Richard Hart that we've never seen before in DEXs. So we've got a very unique L1 that copies over the system state, but includes a tremendous amount of liquidity. We've got the entire sacrifice model that will bring in liquidity and people who are, at this time really looking forward to making Pulsechain work. There's 150 projects that are ready to launch on the Pulsechain with incredible infrastructure, with incredible smart people who are building. But folks, also be warned, whenever there's activity, there are scammers. No one ever needs your seed phrases. And two, never, ever click on any link that you are not comfortable with. Make sure you're double checking everything. Because folks, the way that these scammers work today, no admin from Telegram is going to DM you. And please, please, please never, ever give anyone your seed phrases. And I think that goes without warning, or without mentioning. You should know that if you're in crypto. But folks, this is an exciting time in human history. We have an opportunity to have an alternative to the CBDCs. And I believe that Richard Hart and his commitment to the first principles of crypto is going to have the best shot possible for us to have a future that is abundant. And folks, I say it every single time. The key to this thing working is that we consider ourselves and we consider others in addition to ourselves. So many people are out to get their thing. They want to step on your head. They want to get theirs. They say, win Lambo. This community is different. We win together by considering others in addition to ourselves. And that's what Richard has done. For all these years, Richard has made it very clear that he was worried about people getting wrecked. He's concerned about things like nonprofit organizations, longevity. He's concerned about privacy and freedom of speech and freedom of movement. He's concerned about your sovereignty and your freedom and your privacy. And folks, that is what Rags and I are all about. We want to see you experience the abundance that this world naturally has and get rid of these middlemen. And that's what true DeFi promises. So thank you so much for joining the Pulse today. Let's go Pulsechain. Brandon, I'll let you have the last word. Thanks for being here.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go. Folks, do not mess with Texas. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you on the other side.